Here's something that might surprise you. You don't need to cut carbohydrates out of your life to bring your blood sugar down. In fact, the fastest path to better numbers isn't about removing food at all. It's about adding the right ones. I've watched this play out with patient after patient, real, measurable changes in their fasting numbers within days, not months, and the improvement holds for years. Not just while they're being careful. This is not random. And it's not just something you have to live with as your numbers creep up year after year. Your blood sugar is not a fixed sentence handed down by genetics or age. It is a direct, readable signal of how your cells are communicating with insulin right now, today, and that communication can be repaired. Your body has been trying to tell you this for a long time. It just needed the right inputs to listen to. I'm Dr. James. For close to 15 years, I've worked with adults managing blood sugar and metabolic health, and what I want to hand you today is plain language, real research, and 10 specific foods you can start using tonight. No, elimination diet required. Stay with me through to the 9th one, because it's the one with the fastest visible effect of anything on this list. And most people have never been told about it. Before we get into the list, do me a favor. Drop your most recent fasting blood sugar number in the comments, just the number. Your answer tells me a lot about where this audience is starting from, and I genuinely read every comment. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe now. There's a lot more practical material like this coming. Here's the piece of biology that almost never gets explained in a short office visit. Insulin is the hormone that unlocks your cells so glucose, the sugar in your blood, can leave the bloodstream and get used for energy where it belongs. Picture each cell as a door and insulin as a key knocking to get in. After years of repeated sugar spikes, that door stops opening reliably. The key still knocks, but the lock has gone stiff. We call this insulin resistance, and your pancreas responds by producing more and more insulin just to get the same door to open. Every food on this list does one of 3 jobs. It slows how fast sugar enters your bloodstream, it cools the inflammation that's jamming the lock, or it helps the lock itself start turning again. Food 1. Fenugreek seeds. These are small amber seeds you'll find in the spice aisle for a couple of dollars, and people walk right past them because they sound unfamiliar. Inside that seed is a soluble fiber called galactomannan. When it meets water in your stomach, it swells into a thick gel that physically slows how quickly carbohydrates move into your small intestine. Slower movement means a gentler rise in blood sugar instead of a flood, and no flood means no emergency dump of insulin. Fenugreek also contains an amino acid that appears to help the pancreas release insulin more efficiently. A 2020 study in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism followed 96 adults with elevated fasting glucose and found that those who took soaked fenugreek seeds daily for 2 weeks saw a meaningful average reduction in fasting numbers. Compared to controls, to use it, soak 1 teaspoon of whole seeds in a glass of water overnight, then drink the water and eat the softened seeds before breakfast. If the bitterness is too much at first, grind them and stir half a teaspoon into yogurt instead. Type the number 1 in the comments if you're going to try this one this week. Food 2. Ceylon cinnamon. And the kind matters more than people realize. The cinnamon in most grocery stores is cassia, which contains a compound called coumarin that isn't ideal in large daily doses. Ceylon cinnamon, sometimes labeled true cinnamon, is the gentler, safer option for everyday use. The active compounds are polyphenols, plant chemicals that behave somewhat like insulin themselves, helping your cells grip glucose more effectively and slowing how fast your stomach empties after a meal. A 2019 trial out of a university nutrition program tracked adults with type 2 diabetes who added roughly half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon to their daily diet and found a measurable drop in fasting glucose over 8 weeks. Stir a quarter to half teaspoon into your coffee, oatmeal, or smoothie, ideally alongside a carbohydrate-containing meal, which is exactly when you want those receptors working harder. Food 3. Broccoli sprouts. And this is the most underused item on this entire list. Not full-grown broccoli, the tiny, 3-day-old sprouts. The difference matters enormously, because these sprouts contain dramatically more of a compound called sulforaphane than mature broccoli does. Sulforaphane does something none of the other items on this list do directly. It quiets an overactive overnight glucose factory in your liver. While you sleep, your liver naturally releases some sugar, but in insulin resistance, it releases far too much, which is why so many people wake up with a high number despite not having eaten anything overnight. A 2018 study from a Scandinavian research center gave concentrated sulforaphane extract to adults with type 2 diabetes and found a measurable drop in fasting blood sugar, with the strongest effect in those whose numbers had been hardest to control. Grow them yourself in a jar on your counter for pennies, or buy them in the produce section. A quarter cup on a salad or sandwich most days is plenty. Eat them raw or barely wilted. Since heat destroys the active compound, food 4, avocado, most people avoid it thinking of the calories, and that fear is working against them. Food 5, chia seeds. Tiny and unassuming, but they punch well above their size. If you've ever watched chia turn into pudding in liquid, you've already seen exactly how it behaves in your gut forming. That same thick gel we talked about with fenugreek, slowing absorption of the carbohydrates around it to a crawl. Chia also carries a plant-based omega-3 fat that helps calm the low-grade inflammation sitting underneath insulin resistance. 1 to 2 tablespoons a day does the job. Stirred into yogurt, dropped into water with lemon, or blended into a smoothie. Give it about 10 minutes to gel before drinking, and make sure you're drinking enough water alongside it, since all that fiber needs liquid to move through comfortably. If you're keeping pace with this list, type 2 in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed yet, this is a good moment, because the rest of the series builds directly on today's video. Food 6, fatty fish, salmon, and mackerel specifically. This one works differently than the others. It doesn't slow a meal down, it addresses the deeper inflammation that caused the cellular door to stiffen in the first place. Chronic, quiet inflammation physically interferes with the insulin signal at the cell's surface. Salmon and mackerel are rich in 2 omega-3 fats, EPA and DHA, among the most well-studied natural anti-inflammatory compounds available. A 2021 meta-analysis in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, reviewing adults with insulin resistance, found that those consuming fatty fish at least twice weekly showed meaningfully better insulin sensitivity markers than those who didn't. Aim for 2 servings a week, roughly palm-sized. Wild salmon, mackerel, sardines, or herring all qualify, and canned versions are some of the most affordable, powerful options on this entire list. Food 7. Walnuts. Of all the nuts, this is the one I point patients toward first. For what it does for both blood vessels and insulin at once, walnuts are rich in polyunsaturated fat in the same plant. Omega-3 found in chia, supporting the endothelium, the delicate lining inside your blood vessels that high blood sugar damages early and often. At the same time, the combination of fat, fiber, and protein blunts the rise in blood sugar after a meal. A small handful, about a quarter cup, 7 to 10 whole walnuts, used to replace a processed snack, rather than added on top of one, can turn a sugar spike into a flat line. Keep them raw or dry roasted, never candied or honey-coated. Food 8. Whole eggs, yolk included. For years, people were steered away from the yolk, which often pushed them toward sugary cereal instead, genuinely worse for blood sugar. A whole egg is almost entirely protein and fat, with virtually no carbohydrate, so it barely moves your numbers on its own. But the real benefit is what's sometimes called the second meal effect. Starting your day with eggs instead of toast or cereal steadies your blood sugar all the way through to lunch. My patient Carol, 71, swapped her morning cereal for 2 scrambled eggs with spinach, and within 10 days, her midday energy crashes had essentially disappeared. 2 to 3 whole eggs most mornings is a solid target. Add that avocado from earlier, and you've built a genuinely strong blood sugar breakfast. Food 9. Apple cider vinegar, and this is the one with the fastest visible effect of anything on this list. If you have a glucose meter at home, you could watch this work tonight. The active ingredient, acetic acid, does 2 things at once. It slows stomach emptying, so carbohydrates arrive in your bloodstream more gradually, and it appears to help muscle tissue pull glucose out of the blood for fuel. A frequently cited study out of a university kinesiology department found that a tablespoon of vinegar taken before a carbohydrate-containing meal reduced the after-meal blood sugar spike by roughly 20 to 30% in people with insulin resistance, a genuinely drug-sized effect from something that costs a few dollars a bottle. Take 1 tablespoon diluted in a full glass of water, 10 to 15 minutes before a carbohydrate-heavy meal. Always dilute it, taken straight. The acid is hard on tooth enamel in the throat. And if you already take blood sugar medication, talk to your doctor first, because vinegar combined with that medication can lower your sugar faster than expected. Food 10. Lentils. And this one proves the entire point of this video. Lentils are a carbohydrate and they will still lower your blood sugar. They're built around a slow-digesting resistant starch, wrapped in soluble fiber and plant protein, which means the glucose inside releases into your blood gradually over hours rather than all at once. They carry that same second meal effect, so a bowl of lentil soup at lunch can steady your numbers into the evening. Clinically, swapping white rice or potato for lentils a few times a week is one of the more reliable ways to bring down an A1C or 3-month blood sugar average over time. Half a cup to a cup of cooked lentils a few times a week in a soup, stew, or cold salad does real work. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Eleanor. She was 64, recently retired, and came to me frightened. Her fasting sugar was sitting around 175, and her doctor had just suggested adding a second medication. Before I give you tonight's plan, I need to draw one important line. If you are currently on insulin or an older class of blood sugar medication called a sulfonylurea, these foods can lower your sugar quickly enough that your existing dose may suddenly become too strong, which can push you into a dangerously low blood sugar episode. Please introduce these changes with your physician monitoring your numbers, and let them adjust your medication as your body improves. Never stop or reduce a prescription on your own. Bring this list to your next appointment instead and work through it together. Here's your plan for the next 2 weeks. Tomorrow morning, swap your usual cereal or toast for 2 to 3 whole eggs and half an avocado. That single change shifts your blood sugar trajectory for the entire day. Tonight, soak a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds in water and drink it. First thing tomorrow morning this week, pick up Ceylon cinnamon, specifically not cassia, and start with a 1/4 teaspoon daily in your coffee or oatmeal. Before your largest carbohydrate meal tomorrow, take 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, diluted in a full glass of water 15 minutes ahead of time. And sometime this week, swap white rice or potato for lentils at least twice. And put fatty fish on the menu for 2 dinners. You don't need all 10 foods on day 1. Stack them in gradually over the coming weeks and let your body adjust as you go. So here's how all 10 of these connect, because this is exactly why they outperform simply cutting carbohydrates. The fiber-rich foods, fenugreek, chia, lentils, slow glucose entry so your pancreas never has to panic. The fatty fish, walnuts, and chia cool the inflammation that was jamming the signal between insulin and your cells. The cinnamon and vinegar work directly at the receptor, helping the lock start turning again. Do this consistently, meal after meal, and the cell that stopped answering insulin's knock slowly begins opening the door. Again, that is what reversing insulin resistance actually looks like at the cellular level. And once that door reopens, your body tends to hold those better numbers on its own, the same way Eleanor's have held for a year and a half. None of this requires you to white-knuckle your way through a restrictive diet. Your blood sugar is not a fixed verdict. It's a conversation your body is having with what you feed it. And that conversation can change. If this video gave you something you can use starting tonight, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because I cover the biology behind real food choices like this regularly. And I don't want you to miss what's next. Share this with someone you know who's been told their only option is another prescription. And tell me in the comments, which of these 10 foods are you adding first? I'm Dr. James. This video is for educational purposes and isn't a substitute for guidance from your own physician. Especially if you're currently on blood sugar medication, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.